My husband refused to let me open one drawer in our new house until I found the key myself. When Mark and I bought our first house together, it felt like the beginning of everything I'd ever wanted. A small white house at the edge of town, old but full of warmth. The kind of place where you imagine growing old together. Mark took care of every detail. The repairs, the painting, the furniture. He wanted it perfect before we moved in. He was like that. Precise, almost obsessive, but always kind. There was only one thing that ever struck me as odd. A desk in the study, old solid oak with 7 drawers, 6 open normally. 1 was locked. When I tried it once, just curious, Mark's voice came from behind me. "Please don't touch that drawer," he said. Not angry, not loud, just firm. I laughed, thinking he was hiding something funny, maybe a gift. He didn't laugh back. Weeks passed. Every time I cleaned that room, my hand brushed against that drawer. I started to notice how carefully he kept it polished, how he never left the key lying around, how sometimes late at night, I'd hear the soft creak of that drawer opening and closing again. One night I asked him about it. He looked up from his book and said, "Some memories shouldn't be touched." Then he changed the subject. At first I told myself to let it go. Everyone deserves their privacy. But the more he hid it, the more that drawer started to feel like a third person living in our house. One morning, while Mark was at work, I decided to clean the study. I moved the desk to vacuum underneath, and that's when I saw it. A small silver key had fallen behind the leg, half buried in dust. My heart thudded in my chest. I picked it up. For a full minute, I just stared at it. Then I slid it into the lock. It fit perfectly. The drawer creaked open slowly, like it had been holding its breath for years. Inside were letters, dozens of them, all addressed to Mark Carter. But the handwriting wasn't mine, and each envelope had one word written on the back: return. I picked one at random and unfolded it. It was a letter from a woman named Claire. The words made my hands shake. "You promised you'd visit before she turned 5. She keeps asking about you. She looks just like you, Mark. Please don't disappear again." Another letter, then another, all written over several years. Some begging for help, some angry. The last one said simply, "She deserves to know who her father is." I couldn't breathe. My husband had a daughter, and I had no idea. I sat there on the floor surrounded by letters, trying to make sense of it. When I heard his car in the driveway, panic shot through me. I shoved everything back into the drawer and locked it, heart hammering. When he walked in, I was still shaking. He looked at me for a long moment, then at the desk. Then he sighed. "You found the key, didn't you?" I didn't speak. He walked over, sat down beside me, and unlocked the drawer again. He took out one letter and held it in his hands. "She died 2 years ago," he said quietly. "Car accident. I couldn't bring myself to tell you." My chest tightened. He looked so small, so broken. "She wasn't mine legally," he went on. "I wasn't married to Claire. We met before I met you. She told me she was pregnant right before she left the country. When she came back years later, she found me, but I was already building a life with you. She sent these instead. I kept them, but I couldn't open them again after I found out." He opened one of the last letters and placed it in my hand. It wasn't from Claire. It was from the little girl, written in a child's handwriting. "Dear Daddy, Mommy says you're busy, but I made you a drawing. Please come to my birthday this time." "I'll wait." Tears blurred my vision. Mark's voice cracked. She was 6. For the first time since I'd met him, he cried. Not the quiet, held-back kind, but the kind that shakes your whole body. I just sat there holding that letter, feeling the weight of years neither of us could fix. After that night, he didn't try to hide it anymore. We put her photo on the desk, a small, smiling girl with the same green eyes as him. He visits her grave every month now. Sometimes I go with him. I never asked him why he locked that drawer. I already know. It wasn't to hide a lie. It was to bury a heartbreak too heavy to carry every day. And sometimes, when I'm cleaning that room, I still find the key sitting there on the desk, untouched. Like he wants it to remind him that some secrets aren't meant to protect, they're meant to heal.